Did you seriously just flush the toilet?
Yeah, that's what you do with the toilet. What?
I gotta edit that out now.
So I can...
Hey guys, it's Liko. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do my October wrap up, and I actually have enough books this month to do a November TBR. So we're gonna get all into that. And guess what I'm doing this weekend? I am catching up on all y'all's videos. I know I have so many of y'all's videos to watch. Things have just been a little crazy here lately, so I apologize about that. Let's move this camera a little bit. Okay, that's better. And then we're gonna take a sip of the juice. I'm gonna get into the first book that I read in October. It's in my book sleeve. You guys, this book sleeve, I got it from Crate. It is seriously like my favorite book accessory ever of all time. If you don't have Crate and you didn't get this, it's by Bookbow. Oh, and excuse my hand, I was swatching today. I was showing the difference between using a primer, an eye primer, versus not using an eye primer. Look at that difference. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The first book that I have in here, it's by J.G. McKinney, and it's called The Book Knights. Now, I read this book and I told him, it's like, hey, I'm gonna review this book for you. I'm gonna do a video review, you know, an Amazon review my website, everything, right? I read through it once and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. And that upset me. It upset me really bad. So I read it a second time, and then I read it a third time. And now I'm on my fourth read through. I still can't find anything wrong with it. So I'm gonna consider it finished. And Mr. McKinney, if you're watching this, I'm gonna be giving you a very pleasant review soon. Okay, the next book that I read, these are in no particular order. I'm just gonna grab it off the top, is Angel Fall by Susan E. Me and Melissa, buddy, read this book. I got it on Amazon at the time for like $4. And then books 2 and 3 were also like $4, and now they're not. So I'm mad that I didn't get them when I could for $4. But anyway, this was really good. It's a post-apocalyptic novel about angels versus humans. And an angel and a human kind of become friends. And I don't know, it's like a slow burning romance, which is really good. I don't like the insta love, so I love me my slow burns, and this was definitely a slow burn romance in here, but it's got some humor in it. I laughed out loud, and there was never a dull moment, and I couldn't put the book down, and we enjoyed this book very much. Before She Ignites, this was the book in our September Crate. It was very good. It's about a girl named Mira. There's a peace treaty named after her. It's called the Mira Treaty, but it's not because, you know, she didn't have really anything to do with it. It was just kind of named after her when she was born, and she's supposed to be like the hope bearer, and she ends up going to jail because she is asking her government what happened to the dragons. And apparently she just keeps asking. She knows a little too much. They throw her in jail, and it's just a story about how she escapes, meets some friends, and the political aspect of this book is quite interesting. But this was a really good read. And then we got Crown of Midnight here. I did not like Throne of Glass at all. I'll go ahead and I'll leave that review on the screen. I called it a shit review. I get some nasty comments to this day. I get nasty comments from people messaging me like, well, you should write a book yourself. Or like, why would you say she's about assassin? She's trained to detect poison, duh. And it's like, oh my gosh. Well, that book was shit, guys. I don't give a shit about what you say. If y'all little shitheads are watching this now, that book was still shit. But I have good news for you, because this was not. This was actually a really good book. I fairly enjoyed it, and I am excited to move on with it. If you want to see a full review of this book, and it's not a shit review book, then leave me a comment down below or send me a like. I also buddy read Crooked Kingdom with Lisa's West Coast Reads and Melissa from Melissa and Barnesy Read. This was the end of the duology for Six of Crows. I am in love with Kaz Brecker. I don't really want to go too far into this because I don't want to spoil it, but I'm definitely going to reread this duology soon because I loved it so much. So if you want to buddy read this with me again, like soon, send me a comment. Let me know. Lisa from Coffee Beans and Bookmarks. If you haven't gotten to this book yet, I'll definitely buddy read this with you, so just send me a message on Twitter. Forgot, I listened to some audiobooks this month. I listened to Dangerous by Milo Yiannopoulos. Me and my husband listened to this on the car ride to and from North Carolina about the first week of October. It was an interesting read. And then we also listened to The Art of the Argument because he likes stuff like that. So I consider that a count. And I listened to Girl Code, which is just a personal development book on Audible. It's great. Now on to my November TBR because I have enough books this month to actually have one. I am ashamed to say I'm still not finished with this fucker. I got really sick in September. The kids got sick. If you can hear that, then that's my daughter kicking her crib. She's awake and there are no carpets up there, so it's kind of loud. I don't know why I have the bookmark right here because I'm really like, I don't know. So this book was on the floor, so I'm pretty sure it like fell out and a child put it in, but I'm really like on like page 800 something. Let me see. Yeah, I'm on 857. So I really read like this much. I couldn't quite finish it. So I'm going to finish it this month and hopefully have a good review for you guys. And I couldn't finish it during Ittober. That's terrible. It's like a whole month to read it and I failed miserably. So we're going to get that review going up for you soon. Started reading this book with Melissa last month and I couldn't get into it. I wouldn't really say it was, I don't know, it was kind of bad. It was, I don't know if it was bad because the writing was bad or if I was just in a slump so it just became bad. But I am going to give it a try again. It's Wild Beauty. It's a magical realism book and we got this in our October outcrate. And I'm also going to read Air of Fire with Melissa. I'm hoping this book was just as good as Crown of Midnight. I really enjoyed that one. And I am digging this green color. I had a funny thought. See her long hair. You know how it says Air of Fire? Make it fire hair. Be like hair on fire. Okay. I'm also reading Stalking Jack the Ripper with Melissa at Melissa and Barnesy Read. This is pretty cool. The synopsis says, I was the girl who loved the Ripper. He murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. So, very good so far, actually. I've started it, see? And I'm almost done. So, yeah, if you want to see a review of this, then let me know. Then we're going to dive right into Hunting Prince Dracula together. The back of this book says, a man impaled by a sharp wooden stake, a young chambermaid drained of all her blood. They say it's Prince Dracula, arisen from the dead. I say it's the living, not the dead, we should fear the most. And then there's a skull on the back. Ooh. And then we have Miss Audrey Rose on the front right here. It's really nice. This book right here, I'm reading with Becca from Books and Looks. It is The Empress. It is the second book in the Diabolic trilogy. We read this book, I think it was in September. We read the Diabolic together, and then this book came out on Halloween. I pre-ordered it, and we are currently reading this right now. We got to chapter 15, and I think today we're going to try to get close to 30 or 230. Or get to chapter 30, but it's really good. It hasn't didn't start off slow. It started off pretty strong. but I don't want to go too far into this because it'll spoil the story. But the Diabolic, if you watched my past wrap up, is about a girl who was born and bred to basically be a protector for Sidonia, and then she learns how to find humanity and she learns how to feel. She falls in love with Tyrus, and in the end, you know, becomes like the next appointed Empress. I don't want to really go into it, but that's why we have the Empress right here. But people are not accepting of her because she's a Diabolic. She's a monster, not a human, which really I don't think is the case. I think she's just a superhuman because she has like super strength, and she was just like trained to be like a badass type of thing. She's just really strong. My cat's right here. Do y'all want to see him? He's Dante. Hi, Dante. He says, "Mommy, my food bowl is empty and you have to feed me now. But I'm so fat that I don't need any food. I just wants it." Okay, that was my wrap up and my TBR. So if you like this video, then please leave me a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss any more videos from me, then please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.